What's good, Livewire media fans? All right, today's episode, I have to bring a little, I guess what you could say, a little fun-filled entertainment, because this is probably the most. I usually stick to my sports teams and everything like that, but sometimes general news needs to be brought up, so not just always talking about one thing or another. This episode is brought to you by Fanatics. Fanatics is probably the number one sports apparel on the market right now. Whether you're a fan of the Commanders, Cowboys, Braves, whoever your sports team is, Fanatics can always bring you that fly sports gear for the top of the season. We all know that we're coming into baseball season right now, where hockey and basketball still ahead. Fanatics always have a discount for you. But if you use the discount Livewire Sports, then you will get a healthy 15% off on your next deal. So try Fanatics, the number one sports apparel of the NBA, NFL, and all major sports brands. Now, today is that we're going to talk about Mr. LeBron James. I try not to do a lot LeBron James video or segment because so many people does it, and it does draw a lot of attention and it draws a lot of clicks for LeBron. Because by just bringing up his name, he's always in the media. Now, recently I was watching a video, couple of video. Shout out to Too Raw. I mean, not Too Raw, but Ticket TV. He had this live stream going on yesterday about LeBron James and the potential quote unquote PED usage. Supposedly, I won't say I say supposedly because I don't want to put out information that is inaccurate. So I say supposedly because there's are a lot of reports saying that LeBron James is supposedly on the drug. So now, with that being said, there are back in 2023, LeBron James' name came up in a DEA 2023 biogenesis investigation amid suspicions about his friend and manager Randy Mills, but agents found NBA star did nothing wrong. Now, is that to say that LeBron James is probably he is a powerful figure in sports, whether we like it or not. But is he on the same level that what Kobe was or Michael Jordan was? Hell no. And the media continue to hype up him as he's that guy. Now, I'm sure when LeBron retires, there's gonna be a lot of shit that probably gonna come out about him. A lot. A lot of it can't come out now because people is trying to cover. The media is not covering it. They don't want to cover it. They don't want to touch that subject because LeBron longevity has been playing for a long time. Um, they don't want that to be tarnished. But hell, Lance Armstrong, his dominance in Tour de France busted him. Now we can't never say that Tom Brady longevity is linked to any PED uses because he put out a book. He changed his diet. He didn't get muscular. He got leaner. So that is something that you have to take accountable and say, well, hey, he wasn't, because Tom Brady was still winning, but LeBron James really hasn't been winning like that. I mean, his longevity to break Kareem's record and now over 40,000 points or whatever the case might be. And he just setting records. But at the same time, people praise him and say, well, LeBron James, his longevity and stuff. But what if LeBron James is on the drug? What if LeBron James has been taking this to keep his body, keep him from getting injured so much? There are a lot of drugs out there that can alter your body. LeBron James is kind of toned and cut and built and chiseled a little bit. You know what I'm saying? For a guy that's playing as long as he has, or what, I think he's in his 40s, or LeBron is early 40s or whatever the case might be. I mean, to look like that. Now, I'm not saying exercise and eating right can't help build your body, but to sustain the longevity, you have to be taking something. You have to be doing something. So that's what I feel. You know, I feel, where this could be like a really test, because you gotta think about it. So now, as I'm talking to y'all right now about this, Ticket TV just put out a breaking news, say ex-steroid distributor and founder of Balco Victoria Content says there is reason to be suspicious of LeBron James. ESPN allegedly blocked major aspects of report on LeBron James FBI PDD investigation report, and that there is a new PED that is easy to attain and undetectable in any test. So now, with that being said, how substantial is this going to blow up? Because the fact of the matter is, LeBron legacy could take a major hit. Honestly, this would be the biggest scandal since the Mark McGuire, Sammy Sosa, Alex Rodriguez, even Barry Bonds. Barry Bonds still is not even in the Hall of Fame because they want him to admit that he took something. Now, whether Barry Bonds did or not, that's not my take. All these athletes take something. Hell, even bodybuilders. Schwarzenegger and Stallone did it. You know what I'm saying? They admit to it. Hell, The Rock does it. Now, he say that he ain't, but you look at The Rock from where he was in the WWE, it was a little chubby wrestler. Then he slimmed down. Then he was a little slim at one time. Then he also got bigger. Now Rock is like massive fucking huge right now. He is massive huge at this moment. You look at his arms, you look at him, he is like so chiseled. You know what I'm saying? Even when he was in his started out in the movies, he wasn't that big. He started getting toned, but as you saw him evolve through the years, especially when he's getting these more action roles, he started putting on more mass. Yeah, these guys take something. Now that they coming out and saying that this is true, not true, but there's evidence stating that, and if ESPN is blocking the information, because like I just said, ESPN do not want that scandal. They don't want to spend a whole topic of a whole week talking about LeBron James drug use, because this will be the biggest scandal in sports history to a guy that they've been trying to protect and trying to make him better than Michael Jordan for years. For years. The guys like a Nick Wright, the guys like a Shannon Sharp. Don't you know these guys will be looking at LeBron differently? They will not have nothing to say. And like I said before, when LeBron James retires, there's going to be so much dirt come out on this guy. It's going to be so much information that's going to be leaking to this guy. He's going to be under, I promise you, he will be under investigation once he step off this court. Because guess what? This is the kind of stuff that will keep you out of the Hall of Fame. So why LeBron is trying so much to hold on and play and break all these records is believe me. Because what? I think there was a Olympic athlete that got her medal stripping. I forgot her name. I can't remember her name offhand, but she got her medals taken. Sha'Carri Richardson a few years ago got kicked out of the Olympics because she tested for marijuana. So all of these other black athletes get busted, and there's no sign, no cloud around LeBron James. Michael Jordan never. I mean, only problem I ever heard him have it was doggone gambling. But I told you, I feel like this. To me, I feel like LeBron James has a lot of dirt on him. For him to hold on for as long as he can to before he retire, it's going to be crazy. Because the fact of the matter is, there's going to be information on LeBron James right now, and content creators like Ticket TV, Too Raw for TV, you know what I'm saying? I think what 78 Sports TV, self talk, Dreamers Pro. All of these guys is going to put this information out. The more they continue to do reports on this and put it out, it's going to catch wind. And guess what? It's only going to take a person to write an article about it also. And if an article gets out about this, you best believe this is going to be widespread. And honestly, I mean, it's probably the most hottest topic there is in sports right now. Because you gotta think, former players like Kevin Garnett controversially said LeBron James uses steroids. Kevin Garnett does not think Bronny James could score a bucket on his father, LeBron James, and his reason for it raises eyebrows. Doing an episode of The Ticket and the Truth, which is Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce, Garnett said that James used steroids. Kevin Garnett said Bronny can't get a bucket on on Brown right now. Paul Pierce said, yeah, he can get a bucket on Brown right now. Yeah. He can't get a bucket. Garnett vehemently disagreed with Pitt's take. He, which is his co-host, suggests that LeBron won't be able to move his feet quick enough, as Bronny is quite elusive. Garnett agrees on the Bronny part, but then made a controversial claim. He said he is, but you seen his dad. His dad is on that Balco. He is on that new juice. So if anybody wants to, check out the podcast, Ticket and Truth, then you could, subscribe and look and check it out for yourself. That is quite a statement to make, but Garnett didn't elaborate any further on the matter, nor did he seem to think it was a big deal for him to say that, which means it's more odd is how Paul Pierce did not react to it either. Was Garnett just joking or making some weird making a weird statement? Only he knows. Let me tell you something. These players know what some of these players are doing. When you make a claim, a statement like that, is not just for talk or show. Kevin Garnett played the game for a long time. Paul Pierce played the game a long time, and he played against LeBron. LeBron wasn't even that size of a guy. You look at a guy that going into his 40s, and all of a sudden he's getting ripped and chiseled. Now you have to work out to sustain the mass of that whatever you're taking, because you just can't not take it and it does not work out, because then your body's gonna look different and it's gonna probably break down your muscles. You have to lift weights with this stuff. You have to get in the gym. You got to do certain conditioning. You got to eat right. You got to do all of this stuff to maintain that frame. You know what I'm saying? It's not like LeBron is playing in the 90s with the bad boys, or the early 80s with the bad boys, or the Cleveland Cavaliers, the New York Knicks, or the Miami Heat back then, and getting beat up. He playing against guys that don't even like physicality in the sport. So what, to me, that don't even make sense to me. You know what I'm saying? So, but all in all, this is this is going to be very, 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 very interesting. Um, very, very interesting topic to say. So I think that it's something that needs to be exposed a whole lot. It really needs to be exposed a whole lot, because the fact of the matter is that the media is covering it up. They don't want nobody to know. They don't want anybody to find out about LeBron James, and thinking that he's not doing something. And like I said, this is a career killer. You know what I'm saying? And they say, well, oh well, there's not there's not it's not a detectable. But what makes it not detectable? You know what I'm saying? Anything, it could be detect. You just it's just probably gonna take the right ingredient, the right thing to detect it. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't do a normal drug test to it if it's undetectable. And knowing that Commissioner Adam Silver is so quiet about this, and he's not even trying to look into this, it goes to show what the NBA is. Because you got to think, you can't, you get suspended in the NFL for any performance enhancing drugs or marijuana. You get suspended in baseball for it, and baseball players make more money than the NFL and the NBA. So, and then they get bust for it. They get even bust for um, the some kind of stuff they put on their hands for pitching. So, if baseball players and all these other sports is getting busted for this, why in the hell the NBA is not doing anything about it? Like I said, they want to protect LeBron's legacy. They don't want to have a scandal like this tear them down. ESPN don't want to cover it, because guess what? They all want LeBron James. Like I said, they want LeBron James. They put LeBron James in this stratosphere to where they trying to push him so much to be the GOAT over Jordan. And it's not even working, because people is debunking this stuff all the time. And this news right here, so even Jason Whitlock, which I don't, I'm not fond of too much, but guess what? Jason Whitlock, this report just came out 2 days ago. Said Balco found some reason to believe that reason to be suspicious on LeBron PED usage. Jason Whitlock also commented and said, "What do you think of all of this controversy?" Now, people don't like Jason Whitlock, but one thing I could tell you, Jason Whitlock been in the industry a long time. He knows things. Like when him and Stephen A. Smith were going back and forth, you see Stephen A. Smith didn't go anymore. They just say what they had to say to each other, because they know that these people all have dirt on somebody at one form of another. They do have dirt on somebody. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to be a thing where um you know somebody or you gather information. Jason Whitlock been in the game for so long. So now he going back to Jason Whitlock comment, he said, "What do you think of all of this controversy around LeBron James?" Kevin Garnett made a statement during his podcast on that LeBron James is on that Blanca, blah blah blah. And there's been a lot of other rumors and speculations that the whole biogenesis DNA investigation people attached to LeBron James were connected to that. The thing about it is, the saying always goes, where there's smoke, there's fire. There's fire. Should we be suspicious of the longevity of LeBron's career? I'm telling you, people are going to stop wondering. Once LeBron hangs it up, he's going to get celebrated. They're going to do videos. They're going to show his career in whole spectrum. But guess what? 6 months from that, reports going to start coming out. It's going to be start circulating, probably a year. It's going to be this investigation. LeBron's going to be a heavy investigation. Then there's going to be talk about his legacy. It's going to be an asterisk. It's going to be his Hall of Fame. It's going to hit him to not be in the Hall of Fame. And I think that's where it's going to really hurt him the most. Hit him. Don't take the records away. Hit him in where it's going to hurt him the most. He wants to be in the Hall of Fame. He wants to be one of them guys. So we see. Victor Conte, he said, there is reason for suspicion. I want to be fair to LeBron. There is no evidence that I know of that conclusively. We have a factory in what they call the standard. You have the beyond a reasonable doubt in court, criminal court. You have the preponderance of evidence in civil court. Then you have what they call comfortable, satisfactory that arbitrators use in the world of sport. These things that you just mentioned, his manager, his agent, his wife, his trainer, all being connected to the biogenesis clinic, as well as other drug dealers at the gym. So it wasn't just biogenesis. There were other connections as well. Then some of these testimonies that his agent and on a monthly basis were going by biogenesis clinic and picking up a package of PDDs, which the initial said LeBron LJ on them. I just added all of these things that bring this cloud of suspicion. Should they be suspicious? And the answer is yes. When Xiao Solon, which he been critical of LeBron James for a couple of years, him and LeBron James had a little words back and forth. The UFC MMA fighter who works for ESPN said, I tell you exactly what he's taking. He's using EPO. And how do I know? Because I use the exact same supplier to get the EPO. Now, some might not take what Chanel saying to heart, because probably look at it and say, well, all he has a beef with LeBron James. You know, him and LeBron James will get along, so he's making up stuff. But is he really making up stuff? That's something that you have to really look at and say for yourself, that is he making up stuff? Because I do not think that's what he does. Why have you and other journalists not went to Chanel, got him on your show, and asked him to please explain who this guy is and how he knows that LeBron James is using it? I have not heard LeBron James dispute that. Not a peep, have you? I want to be fair to him, but let me tell you something else that I know. Right before I got on the program, I called and talked with a writer. There's a lot of articles out there. In fact, I even sent one of them in preparation for an interview. This writer was on the case of the biogenesis and this investigation for 6.5 years. The word that he used was that ESPN basically blocked him for saying certain things in his articles and his reporting. He was blocked. He said he was much in terms of information and in the window, but they were unwilling to allow him to print this in his articles. He said, listen, there's more to this than you know, however that means. Is that enough to say LeBron James is guilty of it? Certainly not, but I believe this needs to be followed up and more questions need to be asked by people like yourself. So, with that being said, like I have said, ESPN do not want this out because they want to protect LeBron's legacy. LeBron is, even though he's not the same player, skill set, he's not going to the NBA Finals, but he is must-see TV. They show the Lakers all the time. Come on. If LeBron James, if this gets out and this keep on, if people are going to continue to dig information on this is not going to go away or easily. If this was a get out, how much do you think Then ESPN will have to start showing games with Giannis, Steph Curry, all of these guys a little bit more because they can't talk about LeBron James. How was the like Malika Andrews? You know, as you know, she's a male basher. How she's going to talk about LeBron James? How Kendra Perkins, Richard Jefferson, JJ Redick, Stephen A. Smith, Shannon Sharp, all these guys, how are they going to really talk about what LeBron went through? Or is it true? Or how they going to cover it up? Because guess what? They going to know in their heart that it's true. But they going to have to put on the front for TV to act like they surprised about it. These people already know. There's too much connection. Also, to wrap up this last part of the video, Victor Conte, the founder of the infamous and now defunct Sports Nutrition Center Balco, joins Blaze TV Fearless with Jason Willard to discuss the controversial recent comments made by former NBA star Kevin Garnett during his podcast segment with Paul Pierce, in which Garnett said that he was on it and the new juice. So, with that being said, now, also, Got Bench Sports put out a video and said that Kevin Garnett doubles down on his comments LeBron James. Because he doubled down because he don't want the backlash. You know what I'm saying? And there are federal documents for the 2013 where finally made public to the record revealed James' close friendship with business partner Ernest Mims. So, and LeBron's wife, former trainer, David Alexander, were both named clients of Biogenesis, and both were named to have received legal performance-enhancing drugs. Alexander was cited as being an associate and colleague of Biogenesis founder Tony Botch. Like I said, if you don't believe, then don't believe. But if you really want to know, do research. All you got to do now is an article out there saying that there are suspicion to believe that LeBron James is on performance-enhancing drugs. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like I said, they do make drugs that is undetectable, but at the same time, now if LeBron start changing, you got to think LeBron has never had a major injury in the NBA. He only had nicks and bruises, ankle injuries. He came back and played. He never had missed too much significant time. Now, if he starts to get worn down and get beat up a lot, injured a lot, then you're really going to have to question it to say, well, he wasn't playing like this before, and all of a sudden he's getting injured riddle a lot more because he's on something. So LeBron is trying to protect his legacy. He want his son's legacy to be protected because he knows that his son has a chance to come in the NBA. And if all of this scrutiny comes out, guess what? Bronny James is he's not gonna be able to handle the backlash that his father created. You know what I'm saying? He's not. And then the people gonna say, well, how good thing you think? Well, people already think Bronny James is not that great anyway. So they think his brother is a little bit better. But like I say, pay close attention to this, guys. This story is not gonna go away. So, like I said before, if there's smoke, there's fire. So, with that being said, catch all episodes of this video, my last video on my Anchor podcast for Spotify. Follow through iTunes, Amazon, and all other areas. Also on Podbean. Also, you can check out YouTube for the full video clip of this video as well, and check out my WordPress article. I will probably have an article done on this segment. I think it needs to bring some attention to it. So I probably will definitely work on this later over the weekend. Until then, this is Livewire Sports Media. Have a blessed weekend. Stay safe, and I'm out.